Jamaica. Make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
The Minister of Telecommunications and Transport, Daryl Vaz, says he will recommend a ban of all app-based rideshare applications in the wake of the suspected abduction and murder of a school teacher by a driver who operated under the InDrive taxi services banner. Will the ban prove effective? And is this the best method the government could prescribe to deal with the problem of the increasing insecurity among taxi service subscribers, especially females, when they take these web-based applications that purport to offer taxi services? I'll discuss these issues today on Lead Story. All right, so here we go on Lead Story. We're talking about the announcement made a couple of hours ago by the Minister in charge of Telecommunications and Transport, Daryl Vaz, who was speaking in the sectoral debate in the House of Representatives. He said that he will recommend that all ride-sharing apps in Jamaica be banned. The reason? Because of increasing concerns about security. Several members of the public are saying that, look, these apps, we don't know where they originate. There is no one to call where customer service complaints are concerned. There is a lack of security built into the apparatus, and the app does not provide a portal to be able to track the movement of your loved ones when they take these vehicles operated by these app-based, by these drivers who work for these app-based taxi services. And so he says that he's moving decisively to reinstill a level of security in the public transport sector by recommending this ban. More to that point, he has sent a letter to the head honcho at Cable and Wireless Jamaica, directing him to cause Cable and Wireless to restrict access, not even to restrict access, to deny access to the app-based services that use the Cable and Wireless platform to be able to offer their services to the public. A whole mouthful there, and Ramon Gordon has attempted to capture the essence of what the minister said in Parliament in this nugget he prepared for Lead Story.
Minister with responsibility for the country's transportation, Daryl Vaz, during his sectoral presentation in Parliament, was strident in his advocacy for a ban on ride-sharing apps in Jamaica over security concerns. At a blink's notice, after his passionate lobbying in Parliament, Vaz made public a letter sent by him addressed to the head of Cable and Wireless Jamaica Limited, where he uses his ministerial authority to direct the telecoms company to restrict user access to ride-sharing apps from members of the public using its networks. Is this the end of the road for ride-sharing apps, or is this just a bump in the road? We discuss now in Lead Story.
Thank you, Ramon. So that's the situation. Vaz speaking to his fellow MPs in the House today and laying out the grounds for why the ban on ride-share apps is going forward on his watch. More to the point, this is what the minister said specifically as it regards to the app and what his recommendation will be.
Madam Speaker, I want to indicate that my recommendation as of today, which will obviously have to be vetted for legal purposes, is that a ban on all of those ride-sharing apps with immediate effect until such time as we can come to the table and work out properly how these apps will be regulated in terms of making sure that safety, background checks of the drivers are done not only by the app, the rideshare apps, but by the Jamaican authorities, whether it be the police or the transport authority or whoever. And I make no apologies.
Daryl Wells-Levaz, the Minister in charge of Telecoms and Transport. Now, the letter that he sent to Cable and Wireless head honcho Stephen Price, that letter speaks to national security concerns, and we have the letter that we can share with you to show you what the minister said. He spoke to several instances where the rideshare apps have been used. Well, he says he has been advised that select online platforms which afford users the opportunity to procure transport services, right, also known as ride-hailing services, ride-hailing, ride-share, same thing, that they are being used by persons to provide transportation services without the appropriate fit and proper checks and in breach of existing laws. Now, if we hold this graphic, this is but one of the problems the minister is raising with the rideshare apps, because he's saying not just the issue of security, but they are not going through the same protocols that red plate taxi operators in Jamaica have to go through. They are circumventing all those things. You simply go to the app, sign up, and you are, voila, a taxi operator. He's saying without these appropriate fit and proper checks, the users are in breach of existing laws, and the laws that they are in breach of include the Road Traffic Act and the Transport Authority Act and their attendant regulations. So he's saying that these online platforms are creating the passageway for the laws to be breached, and he name checks the laws which have been breached. Next, if we go to the next slide. So apart from the breaches of the Road Traffic Act and the Transport Authority Act and their attendant regulations, he is speaking to other things in the rideshare apparatus that are problematic, including the fact of national security concerns. He says the police have advised several heinous crimes, including murder, rape, abduction, and robberies, have been committed by persons who have been purportedly contracted via these platforms to provide transport services. So he cites other laws which have been breached: the Money Laundering Act, Cybercrimes Act, Terrorism Prevention Act, and those being distinct possibilities. So on the one hand, they're breaching the Transport Authority Act, they're breaching the Money Laundering Act, they're breaching the Cybercrimes Act, and he says also that in light of this risk, this national security risk to citizens and residents and their safety and visitors, of course, effective immediately, Cable and Wireless Jamaica Limited and its Jamaican affiliates are directed to restrict access. I did say restricted the first stanza, and then I corrected myself to say a denial, complete denial. It's a restriction in Jamaica. All ride-hailing applications via the Cable and Wireless platform must be restricted, and these include, wasn't an exhaustive list, they included InDrive, Uber, 876 On The Go, Lyft, and Ride Jamaica in his letter, in his missive to Stephen Price. Now, if you notice in there, Uber and Lyft are two of the biggest ride-hailing platforms in the world. Uber has an all-star cast among its owners, including the billionaire rapper Jay-Z. It is a massive operation worldwide. Lyft is also a huge deal right across the world and in the United States, in their home country. Both those apps are in the bundle of apps that the transport minister says ought to be denied access to the Cable and Wireless platform, citing, as he sees, the very relevant national security risk that they pose and the government's response to curtail that risk, to remove that risk entirely by issuing the order to Cable and Wireless to restrict access to these apps as a first step in the process going forward to develop the relevant regulations to make the app-based taxi driving service orderly and to make it work for the benefit of the Jamaican commuter. To discuss the issue, first up, we're going to be joined by Edgerton Newman. He's president of the Transport Operators Development and Sustainable Services, TODS, and he's going to give me some perspective on this move by the minister. He was supposed to be in here, but the traffic caught him on the streets of Kingston. It's mayhem out there because of the rain in the corporate area. Good evening, Mr. Newman.
My brother, good evening, Sir George.
Excellent. Good evening. Let me put the obvious question on the table. Am I to conclude that this move by the minister in Parliament a few hours ago is being welcomed by your members who saw the rideshare applications as a threat to their business on the roads day to day?
Absolutely. We welcome the move by the announcement by the minister, pulling the plug on the ride-sharing institutions. Of course, we have a concern about one of those groups because You might know that 876 is a part of my organization. And of course, they are going by the books. They don't break no rules, no laws. And the plug has been pulled on them or will be pulled on them. And I question that even with the minister this afternoon. But apart from that, we believe that, and you know that from 2001, 2000, I have been calling out on these guys, Uber and InDrive, especially Uber, on their involvement in the Jamaican public transport sector without the requisite license. And we thought it was wrong because our members, George, has to be going by the books. We can't miss, a straw. That we're in serious trouble with the government of Jamaica, and then you have an international company, of course, our companies taking steps to rip us off in terms of our resources in this country, millions of dollars per day.
But Edgerton, the commuters will say, look, the introduction of these ride-sharing services and the added competition that they bring to the space has made it better for them because now they can shop around with their commuting dollar for the best option rather than being at the mercy of of people from your members and groups similar to Todd's.
While I understand that, George, our commuters must understand safety is one very important aspect of the public transport sector. Secondly, I believe that our commuters need to think what they're saying, because the point is that these companies are not following the regulations, and we have to. We are charging $10 and they are charging $4. Why? Because they want the major market share. We have to do the right thing every day. These companies come in, Uber, especially InDrive,
yes,
and creating havoc.
Let me introduce Odell Marsh to the conversation. He's the junior shadow spokesman on transport and works. Good evening, Odell.
Good evening. Thank you, Sir John, for having me. Good evening.
All right. Your reaction to what Minister Vaz announced in the Parliament today as he seeks to respond to the issue of insecurity of app-based ride-sharing services?
I must say I'm not surprised of the minister's announcement. If you have been following the minister over the past few months, you would have been blind not to see this coming. I think they were probably just waiting for the right moment to really strike, and know that we are witnessing what happened with Daniel Anglin, someone who I know personally as well, having gone to Texas together as schoolmates. We now see the government really coming after the ride-sharing app in a real way, which while I understand the company may have had concerns, I quite frankly believe that the approach of the minister and the government is not the right approach, nor will it actually solve the problem that we're facing right now. I think it's more of a knee-jerk reaction,
yes,
to a greater problem.
Your line is a bit dodgy. I'm going to ask my producer to see if he can straighten out the line. So Odell, just hang where you are. We're going to see if we can straighten the line out. Edgerton Newman, I heard you say that issues of security, which your members take very seriously, that the Jamaican commuter is not seized of the compromise of their own security that is brought about by these rideshare services, app-based, which do not have the same regulatory responsibilities and in terms of conformance that your drivers do. But I say this to you. If we are to draw a line from the first time a ride-hailing company started operating in Jamaica to this point, a casual commuter may say, yes, but George, tell Mr. Newman that the traditional taxi operators have been involved in as many crimes as have been alleged against the rideshare operators. So no better barrel, no better herring. Mr. Newman does not have the moral authority to talk about insecurity where the rideshare services are concerned, because his taxi drivers are no better.
And that, you have a point there. We have been operating for over 6-7 decades in this country. Well, from ever since we have been here, and we have been having several challenges with safety, security in the sector. But here is a company that comes in just about 3-4 years ago. And the good thing is that when one of my members are involved in some sort of a challenge, You can find them. There's no office of InDrive in Jamaica. The police have been trying to get some answers on what happened the recent action with Daniel. Nobody can find an office of the company. So, matter of fact, insurance. I mean, nobody can. You can't blame a share ride driver for anything that happened to a passenger. So we have it is very easy to identify when a local transport operator do something wrong.
Hold the point, Edgerton. We have to take the break and come right back. Hopefully we can connect with Odell Marsh, the junior spokesman from the opposition on transport and related matters. This is Lead Story here on CVM TV. More after the break.
Loan payments every month, take a debt consolidation loan from AIM to pay credit card bills and all other high interest rate loans from other institutions. Make one low monthly payment to AIM and take home some extra money in your pocket. That's financial freedom. One loan, one low payment, more money in your pocket. Call AIM today to lower your loan payments. And remember, you won't find a better deal elsewhere. Guaranteed.
When the food speeds, we dance. When the vibe nice. The time by Grace. Taste that moves you is
6:45.
Hi, I'm Celine Gordon, host of Holy Road.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy John Mark Wigan, host on the show Holy Road. Listen, people need to know what's happening in the churches and in ministry in all of Jamaica. It's an absolute blessing. We're really excited to share this.
Tune in to CVM. See it happen.
Hi, I'm Wayne.
And I'm Tammy.
And we are the Mitchells. You can watch Meet the Mitchells right here on CVM TV every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yes, you guys don't want to miss it. We will be having new episodes every week, so definitely follow along with our family.
Meet the Mitchell family.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You're the sugar to my tea. Meet the Mitchell family.
Welcome back to Lead Story here on CVM TV. We're dealing with the issue of rideshare apps. That ban announced in the House of Representatives a few hours ago by the Transport Minister, Daryl Vaz, consequent upon the suspected abduction and murder of a teacher by a man who says he was an InDrive driver. InDrive is a web-based application that allows people, anybody can download the app on their phones, go to the app, sign up, and within minutes you are authorized to operate as an InDrive taxi operator. You can pick up passengers, you can sit down, you can pick up, you can charge, and you can continue that area of endeavor just by going onto an app, spending a few minutes, and voila, you're a taxi operator. Local taxi operators are saying that, look, this has long been unfair because we have to subject ourselves to a regime set down by the Transport Authority and in conformance with Jamaican law to get ourselves registered as taxi operators. We have a lot of overheads. They have none, which is why they can undercut us severely where fear is concerned. But at the same time, the security risk with them is so much greater than with our members, even though, as Edgerton Newman, the president of TODS, is admitting, his members are no angels either, because they have a lot of strikes against their name when it comes to the assault of their passengers, murder of passengers. Taxi operators have been involved in a fair few over time. He's not denying that, but he's saying that at least you can find where a taxi company is headquartered or someone to complain to in the event of an infraction on the road. He rejoins me. Edgerton Newman, you were saying before the break that the regulatory controls or lack thereof around the rideshare companies would always come back to haunt them. And you say, but at the same time, so at the same point, I haven't seen taxi operators form a concerted alliance. I know that you have various representative groups, but I haven't seen even a loose alliance to say to the government, these people are undercutting our business and they have no regulatory controls, get them out. It took this issue for the government to act in this way. I'm suggesting to you that you've been asleep at the advocacy wheel.
No, I have to smile, George, because I tell you, we have been on this since 2001. If you do a research right now, March 2001, we have been saying no way to the ride-sharing app. We know a former minister, Montague, said, welcome them with open arms. And I said to Minister, And I did my research to find there was no documentation at the Transport Authority. And ever since then, we have been, the local share ride groups have been out. If this morning one president cried to me, Mr. Newman, we can't make any money. These guys are on the 2 campuses where we have over 20,000 students, and they can go on it because there's a white plate, because we have a red plate, we can't pass the security gate. So we have been out there.
But Edgerton, I've said this to you before. In the same way, I've seen your members block the roads with their vehicles, lie down in the road, using themselves as human shields, protesting about fare increase. There is nothing on record about a similar level of advocacy where these ride-sharing apps undercutting your business is concerned, and that's the point I'm making.
Yes, that is so true, because I think, and you know, my members are getting at me now, they are losing my membership because I don't want to go towards demonstration and blocking the roads and things like that again. I want to go into the halls of government and discuss issues. And that is one of the reasons why these apps, the ride-sharing groups are here so long. And maybe I think the time has come. Nothing, it never takes too late for a shower of rain. And the rain has fallen today twice.
Yeah.
And so we are happy that we reached a stage, and we are hoping that it wasn't a knee-jerk reaction, as some people might say, but a step forward. And of course, I'm happy that the minister said he was looking at the law, the legal ramification, because right now he named a group that has been towing the line, and now the plug has been pulled on them.
Let me see if I can get back to Odell Marsh. Odell Marsh, Odell, are you there?
I'm here. Are you hearing me clearly?
A little bit better. So you've said that it was knee-jerk, that it was premeditated because you expected that this set-piece move would have been made by the minister from some time ago. Why is this knee-jerk in light of the claims he makes in the letter to Stephen Price at Cable and Wireless that web-based taxi services, that their members are involved in murder, sexual assault, and other serious crimes? Why in that context are you saying this move to ban them is knee-jerk?
Well, if you look at it, you would have seen where the minister...
The audio, no, I'm sorry. The audio is challenging. I can't hear, so I don't think my guests can hear either, and I can't be unfair to them. Edgerton, let me come back to you, because then there are a series of obvious questions, Edgerton Newman.
Let me quickly do, George. Forgive, I don't want to forget the small piece.
Yes.
Now, on the very same day when we have this fare increase issue, when we're asked for a setback of the fare increase, on the very same day, all the various transport groupings met with the minister on the matter of the share ride thing, and a submission is before cabinet as we speak. I mean, it was 2-3 months ago, and so we have been on it. It's just that it doesn't make headline, and that's the reason why. But we have been. It's not a knee-jerk reaction, and I can speak very loudly on this one.
Hear you on that. All right. So here's the thing: I can go on my app, and I can download one of the rideshare apps, and I can sign up within minutes to be a taxi operator. So there's no establishment of bona fides for the taxi operator. There's nobody to call in case of an infraction. There is weak or little security, and the list of the things that are negative goes on. The list of deficiencies is the word I'm searching for. For a legitimate taxi operator, do they have to pass a fit and proper person test? Does their criminal record, do they have to produce a police record to get a license? Tell me what they have to satisfy to get that red plate in hand.
I was going to say all of the above. They have to be fit and proper, and that means they must have first thing to get to be accepted in the Transport Authority as a driver. They have to produce their police record, and that's the most important thing to us. Wearing of that badge is key. That shows that, yes, you're a legitimate taxi driver or bus driver. You're clean and proper, and at least for the past year or year and a half. So that is one of the key things Training, you must go through a training with the transport authority. So you go through all the rudiments and then you have to pay their fees. These are whole heap of fees. And the car has to be also fit and proper. So but with the share ride people, you, George, can just step out of your office and sign up within within 24 hours. Let's put it 24 hours.
Yes.
You are an Uber driver, and you can drive your SUV.
Yes.
Go pick up somebody, take them to their destination. A matter of fact, you can give your car to your driver.
Yes.
You know, while they stay in the office.
Yes.
And they go and work and come back.
Question for you. Give me an idea. Give me an idea, Edgerton. What's the average cost for a taxi operator picked at random? What's the average cost that they have to pay to qualify for that red plate? What's the average amount they have to spend?
Okay. Between the transport authority and the insurance company, I just want to say it was two. It could be over $100,000 and $1,000. Well, maybe depending on the type of vehicle you drive.
Yes.
Your own personal.
A Probox driver, a Probox driver, Edgerton. Let's go with the popular car.
Let's put it $140,000. And some people say, no, Mr. Newman, it's too small. But I put it there for the time being. And even once it is there, you know, the other man is coming open-handed with a car and got you and making more money than you.
But hold on, so let me just review it quickly. So you say that, one, they have to produce a police record. Two, they have to undergo training.
Training, yes.
Three, they have to spend at least $140,000.
Right, around $150, no problem.
Let's say $150 to get the red plate. And then that compares to the rideshare driver who just goes on their app, spends 5-10 minutes completing the form, waits 24 hours for approval, and then just like magic, they are equal to the person who has gone through the process you outlined.
Sure. And when it is, you know, I thought you were going to ask the question, what is the cost for a travel? Between Halfway and Papine, if you take my taxi, it's going to cost you about $800, eh? If you take an in-drive taxi, it could cost you $300-400. So they undercut you to get the market.
Yes.
Right? And we are saying that is wrong.
So notwithstanding the national security concern that has arisen and given rise to this decision, you're saying today is a good day for your members and your colleagues?
A good day.
Hear you on that.
Very good day.
Hear you on that. Hear you on that. Here's my perspective on this issue now. I believe that there is space for web-based taxi services. However, it has to be regulated and they can't be put in a position where it is advantageous for them relative to another Jamaican who goes the prescribed route through